Hello. Hello. Testing, 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 testing the audio. Okay. The audio is working. Great. Okay. Ladies, we are going to get into this. Shout out to T Salt that brought this to my attention. And I don't think that T Salt has any idea who this lady is because she probably ain't got no kids. But since I do have a child, I was aware of who this lady is because she is a YouTuber and she is one of those family blogger YouTubers. And so she is the newest recruit into the Black manosphere, and that is what she's doing. I call these women bottom bees, and I think that we can explore that archetype a bit this year because I think that as these males become more desperate, they are recruiting biracial and multiracial women and white women to get Black women in order, to get Black women into shape, to um, get these women are doing their bidding. These females are doing their bidding. And so we're going to see more of these biracial and multiracial bottom bees show up, and light skin too. I saw a light skin and a multiracial woman calling herself schooling Black people, yet Black women yesterday. And it's like, wow, neither one of you people are qualified to be telling Black women, unambiguous Black women and dark skinned Black women what to do with their lives. I think that we have a very unique experience um, navigating these spaces. And I don't think that light skinned and biracial women have any business trying to tell us what to do. Okay. So, shout out to T Salt. I will be linking to T Salt's video, her original video, but we can watch at least some of it now. Um, and you can see what this lady is talking about. Let me see. Make sure that y'all can hear the audio.
What happens? Um,
Let me just hold
I,
on. Before I start that, let me just back up and say that this woman was, hold on. Why is this showing? Um oh, you really can't see that on here. So I guess that's fine. If I scroll up, can you see? Yeah, kind of. I'm sorry this is a little bit janky, but I can't, like, we're out of school right now because of COVID. So I can't post up where I normally would be. And because my little one's not asleep and she's utilizing that space right now. So I'm doing the best that I can with what I got. Okay. So let me just kind of back up. I don't really know the ins and outs of this lady. She has two brown skinned girls that do YouTube videos. They do like pranks, they do reviews, they do like family blogs. I think at one point in time they were living on one of the Disney properties. And so they would always like, go to Disneyland or Disney World or wherever they were going. And they would, like do toy reviews. I think I've already mentioned that. They did craft projects, all that kind of stuff. So I didn't mind my daughter watching it. I think that she was one of the lesser problematic kids YouTubers because some of them just be doing team too much. So I didn't mind my daughter watching her daughters play and stuff on YouTube. Um, Now, as a side note, I always side eye people who put their children out like on the internet for profit. I do kind of side eye them just for the fact that, especially especially when you're dealing with brown skin unambiguous Black girls, you're going to get a lot of hate, and you're going to get a lot of criticisms about your children's looks and appearances. And for me, I just don't know that it really makes sense to put your children, for me it's not right. worth. Always been super private about my child even before coming onto YouTube. Like she's not even on my personal Facebook. She's not on social media at all. And I told my family, don't post her on on social media. I just, I'm really um particular about that. And so therefore, yeah, it's just, it is what it is. So I always side eye people like that. But nonetheless, like I said, the content wasn't really ever too problematic. But apparently she and her husband have gotten are divorced, and apparently he's the one who filed. He is a unambiguous dark skinned black man. I mean, you could say he even looks a little bit like O'Shea, to be honest with you. Like her husband looks a little bit like O'Shea, and I'll show you some videos of her husband. So I don't know if that's why she's gravitating towards O'Shea, because he reminds her of her ex-husband. I don't know, but they do kind of favor. So that kind of gives you an idea of like his aesthetic. Um, and so now I'm speculating, purely speculating, because like I said, I do not know this lady like that. I only know her through the kids' YouTube that I just kind of like check in every now and then about what my child is consuming. So when she's watching something on her tablet or on the TV, I'll just peek in and I'll view some of the content to make sure that it's not crazy, it's nothing, you know, harmful or that's not age appropriate. So that is how I came to know her. So I don't know the intimate details. Now, if her husband divorcing her, she's the biracial preference. My theory would be that it had something to do with these children, and I think that it has something with her YouTube. That would be my theory. That's probably the biggest contentious point in her marriage is her always putting her children out on the YouTube and stuff like that, and like all the pranks, and I bet you it's very time consuming. So you probably wouldn't have as much time to have family life. You wouldn't have as much time to have genuine family life if you're always documenting everything for YouTube. You're always documenting everything for Instagram. Like most of us, like even myself, for example, I pop on and I pop off, but it's not like I have these huge productions. Um, then involving my whole family and the children and every single thing. It's like they can't go on a family vacation. Everything has to be documented for YouTube. They can't just have dinner. It has to be a prank involved for YouTube. It's like it's very time consuming. And if I had to guess, that's probably the biggest problem that they had. And I think that she's so attention craving. I think that if her spouse was like, hey, let's shut the YouTube down and let's just focus on our family, let's be more private. I think that if attention starved as she is, if she had the ability to choose between a private family life or a YouTube presence, I honestly think that she would choose YouTube presence and social media, including Instagram, TikTok, and the like. I think she's very attention craving, and that's like just what she desires. And so I think that that's probably, but again, this is just my speculation as the way outsider looking in. I'm pretty sure if she continues down this route, you want to you want this smoke, girl. You want to be a bottom B, you want to recruit for the manosphere, girl, they're going to have all the smoke for you. They're going to look up your divorce, they're going to dig around, there's some people on here that really be wanting to get to the T. Okay, they be wanting to know what is the tea, why are you here, and who are you? And you could have just stayed over there in the family blog lane. You could have stayed over there making your kid reviews and doing your crafts projects. But oh no, the manosphere is too alluring and attractive to you, so you want to boot scoot on over there. And so now you've stepped into the lion's den. You've stepped into the lion's den of scrutiny and drama and chaos, and you've decided to contract your services to be their bottom B to recruit women in. So now all the smoke, you're going to get a lot of smoke, but don't cry and whine and bitch and moan. Oh, you guys are scrutinizing my life. You ask for it. You ask for it. Like if you go over there and you start recruiting for them, you're saying, "Hey, look at me, scrutinize me," because especially you're fresh out of out of a divorce, and this is the same thing with Samuels. Like, y'all divorcees want to be able, she wants to tell black women what they need to do. First of all, you're not black, number one. And number two, um, you just got a divorce. Like, the ink on the paper is still wet. So I would think that you would want to try to, maybe do some self-reflection, sit down and chill, go on a retreat or something, try to find yourself, try to, recalibrate yourself and all the things. But no, you jump right into the manosphere, pandering, and you're contracting your services because you're going to get black women together and your new purpose in life. You're going to hear her out of the horse's mouth. Her new purpose in life is to get black women together because black women are unfit, they overweight, they this or that, whoop de whoop whoop whoop, they're not feminine enough. Her man, but anyway, let's get into it. Who is this? This is Mommy CrayCray. I don't remember her name, her like first name, and I think she took her channel down or something. She only has the family channel up right now, so I only know her as Mommy CrayCray. And she had a kids reviewing channel, but she is a new bottom B for the manosphere, and you're going to hear it out of her mouth. This video that I am streaming comes from T Salt. I will link her video in the description box so that you can go and check out her channel directly and subscribe to her if you would like to, if you haven't subscribed to her yet.
Woman to come save black women from themselves. This is a 40-year-old single mother of 2 girls who says she found purpose due to Kevin Samuels and O'Shea. They picked her up from the dumpster that her ex-husband put her in, and they placed her on a pedestal. And now she says it's her calling to come help the black community, and black women in particular. Before coming over to Black YouTube, she admits that she didn't know anything about Kevin Samuels, the manosphere, or the black community. And what led her here to these spaces is the fact that she was lost and depressed after her husband divorced her.
So if you don't know, divorce is very traumatic. It takes a toll on you no matter what happens. And, it's traumatic for everyone. The kids, it's just a lot. So here I am now, a single mom at 40 to 2 kids.
But I started noticing you a few months ago. And at first I was thinking of like, this can't be a real person. This person is too attractive. And then lo and behold, I saw you comment like, who is this person? Melanie King. So I called her. He's like, no, she's actually real. I know who she is. So tell us before we get into the topic, how did you find this particular space or Kevin's content and then
Well, I started to when my marriage ended, and I will say I did not file nor did I cheat because I've realized I have to say that. I hadn't been out here in 15 years. I didn't know, what was going on. So I started to look up, and actually I was looking up at self-improvement on how to improve as a woman. And I know I had different issues that I needed to address. And so it became a trickle effect. I started looking at one video and then you get recommended the rest. And then I finally saw Kevin's Average at Best video. And I loved it.
So I just want to pause and just say that she loved seeing this black woman be disrespected. She loved it. She loved seeing the Average at Best video is what sold her on her gay bae. What do you call like your like gay best friend? I call them gay bays. Kevin is like a gay bae. But yeah, so that sold her. She was like, "Ooh, yes, a black woman getting disrespected online. I'm sold. I'm in. Where do I sign up? I want to get in on the action."
With an old school pastor, my father was like that. He, I didn't grow up like he calling me a princess and I could do no wrong. I mean, he raised me a certain way and it was straight to the point and no chaser. And when I saw him do that, I just hadn't seen that before. And I detected no lies.
So this is the thing about these people. They contradict themselves a lot. She just said, I grew up watching my father act like this and my father treated me the way Kevin Samuels treated this woman. And then in the same sentence, in the same breath, she was like, wow, this is so amazing. I've never seen this before. So which one is it? Did you grow up seeing this or have you never seen it? Like these cluster B people are so contradictory. You can never ever follow their logic. It's so illogical. And they just double speak, talk all over the place, contradict themselves within the same sentence like it ain't nothing. And like they just think like do you think that intelligent people are not going to be listening to what you're saying and attempt to follow your language? And you just said how what drew you to him was the fact that your father was as abusive as him, and you listened to this type of rhetoric growing up, and you were never treated as a princess. And then next, oh, I just had to subscribe because I never seen it before.
I thought she was delusional, and I was just like, whoa, what is going on out here? And then the more I started,
So this is the thing, and this is what I'm predicting, and this is something that Chrissy has been talking about for years. This weird coalition that dark-skinned black men have with biracial women, that and that, it's this triangulation that they have with biracial women and non-black women, that biracial women and non-black women who are discarded from mainstream society, or who they don't get the same treatment as top tier women of no color, or whatever the case may be, enter into this covenant with dark-skinned black men, and they team up to try to whip together or always keep dark-skinned and unambiguous black women in their place. So she's saying that this unambiguous black woman, who's saying that she wants a man of her stature, which is reasonable, she's saying she's delusional. Jessica's delusional for wanting a man of her stature. Jessica is a pretty accomplished business owner, making over $100,000 a year, and well-spoken, poised young woman. And this biracial woman wants to let her know that she's delusional. Why is she delusional? Because she came on here requesting or wanting tips on how to get a man of her own stature. So she's delusional. So then if she's delusional for wanting that, then what should she accept? And what do you think she qualifies for, biracial lady? Like, you want to enter into a covenant with these males to try to diminish and downgrade the value of dark skinned and unambiguous black women. And you think that we're going to give you a pass and we're going to let you slide on over here and slide on onto our panels and slide on over here and think that you're going to get some shine. You're not. And we're never going. You go, like, you might be passing wherever you were in Florida, California as black. You're not going to pass over here as black. You will always be referred to as a biracial, non-black woman. Okay. So you're not going to be able to just be black when it's convenient for you, and then not when it's not convenient for you, and then try to tell dark skinned and unambiguous black women what to do and what they deserve and who they qualify for and who they don't qualify for, and think that you're speaking for black women. You are not a part of us. You cannot even sit with us. You're not a member of this club. You are not. You are an outsider. You need to boot scoot right on over there for wherever you came. Go back over there to making your craft videos or whatever you was doing. And don't be over here trying to tell black women what they need to do. It was a whole nother multiracial, biracial woman the other day gonna try to like, it's something about these locks and faux locks and locks that these multiracial and biracial women put in their hair, and they just think, oh, that this my past, so just say whatever I want about black women because I got the locks, whether they be faux locks or real locks. Like, it's a mess.
to get into, you know how it goes. I was just like, oh my gosh, what is happening in this world today? And that's what got me started.
Please raise your hand and tell the class if you know why Kevin Samuels and O'Shea chose this woman to be the savior of black women. Even though by their standards, she's hit the wall, she's a single mother, and now she's in a position where her only option is to buy a dog and die alone. But not only did they save her from their own talking points, they placed her above black women. What is it about this woman that makes her so special?
Because let's just be honest, based off what you looking at, this ain't me simping. The average lady, if there's a lady that can overcome age, 40, the way you look, it's easier for you to overcome. If there's an exception to the rule, it appears to be you.
I actually know Kevin. I talked to Kevin, so thank you. Yeah, he's I have nothing but positive things to say about him. Do I agree with everything Kevin says, like all the time? No.
I have nothing but positive things to say about him, but do I agree with him all the time? No, I don't. Like, I don't know. I've noticed over the years, not even just with Samuels, but with like Umar Johnson, with other problematic bandits that are roaming through the community, people who really support them, they know that they're trash, and so they always follow up their endorsement with, "Well, I don't agree with everything they say," or "I don't agree with everything they do," to kind of like give themselves this like get out of jail free pass for when the plane crashes and burns, and so she's no different. Well, I have nothing but great things to say about him, but I know the right thing to say is that I don't agree with everything he says. Oh, I know him, y'all. He's my friend. I talk to him.
Do I agree with his approach every time? No, but his mission and his overall message, 100%.
She says I 100% agree with his mission and his approach. No, what did she say? Let's run it back. I want to make sure I get it right.
I have nothing but positive things to say about him. Do I agree with everything Kevin says, like all the time? No. Do I agree with his approach every time? No, but his mission and his overall message, 100%.
Okay, so she 100% agrees with the mission and the overall. So the mission of Kevin Samuels is to collectively downgrade the desires and standards of Black women so that they will continue. Basically, I would say that Kevin's job is to maintain the status quo. Job is. I think it's to maintain the status quo. Black women marrying down, Black women engaging in struggle love, Black women engaging in hypogamy, Black women engaging in becoming single mothers, not having anybody to stick around for the children. I think that's his mission. That's ultimately what he's trying to do, and he's trying to do it from the different angles. So he emboldens the incels to offer less, do less, try to sleep with women on the first date, don't try to invest in a woman, avoid, being a stepfather, devalue women, domestically discipline them, and those kinds of things. And then on the other side, to accomplish the same mission, to tell Black women, lower your standards. Who do you think you are? You're full of yourself. You're delusional. Why should you ask for anything? You should be happy for anything you get. You need to share your man. Your men don't have to be faithful. You need to open up. Understand that you're going to be sharing him. It's your honor to be of service to him. You need to cook. You need to clean. You need to raise the children. You need to always say yes. You can never deny him for anything, for sex, for whatever he wants. If he says go get a job, you better go out there and do it. Give him your whole check. You'll be lucky if you get an allowance back. You need to maintain him. You need to understand that he's the prize, that you're nothing, you're trash, you are dispensable, discardable, you're just a tool, to be used. And then you need to believe that. And if you don't believe that, you're not a good woman. So that's the mission. I mean, that's pretty much the hypothesis of every single talking point in every single video. And it's just like that same message regurgitated in different ways over and over and over again. And then another thing I think is to corrupt young women. So women, you better hurry up and get married before you get to the danger zone, before you hit the wall. You better accept one of these men and marry them and stay with them no matter what. It doesn't matter if he leaves you, it's your fault. It's your fault. So you better get with an older man and accept whatever he's offering you, and you better do it fast. So it is to recruit women into this dusty struggle of mentality as quickly as possible. So, sometimes there's younger women calling in or listening in, and so they're being groomed and they're being, recruited into the harem to, engage in the struggle of banditry, basically. And so that's what she's basically agreeing with. And that's the message. The message is Black women are all overweight. they're masculine, they're overbearing, they're the lowest on the totem pole, nobody wants you. Um, you'll hear them say over and over that we're all you got. No one else, you can't date out. Nobody ever will want you. Da 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 da. So just to recap, that is what she is saying that she agrees with 100%.
And I praise God for it, because I am in the place I am now, and I have stepped in my purpose because of that man.
She has stepped into her purpose, not because of God, not because of Jehovah, not because of Jesus, not because of Buddha, not because of any of it. She has stepped into her purpose and been redeemed and sanctified and baptized in the holy water of black male worship by her Savior and Father, Kevin Samuels.
He really set me on my purpose, y'all. He really set me on my purpose.
Before we get into what she thinks her purpose is, let's talk about why she's really showing fake interest in the Black community. When she was married to a white man.
Now, shout out to T Salt. Like I said, I don't think T Salt noticed Lady. I don't think she noticed Lady. This lady was married to a black man that looks like O'Shea. We're going to look at him in a little bit. So just, I've hit T Salt up. I'm waiting on her to get back to me so we can get on the same page about what's a guan in this situation. So I'm waiting on her to hit me back, but we're gonna get it all together. We all gonna get on the same page, okay, about what's a guan. But T Salt is under the impression right now that she was married to a white man, which is not true. She was married to a black man that looks like O'Shea. Okay.
Living in a white neighborhood with white children, the last thing on
Again, her children are not white. Her children appear to be black, and they have locks.
her mind was Black people and anything to do with Black people. But when her husband divorced her, and I'm going out on a limb to say that he was white, because a Black man thinks she's something extra special, so he wouldn't have divorced her.
See, this is the thing. T-Salt don't know that this lady is an attention. She really craves attention. And like I said when I opened up this video, I think that if this woman was presented with the idea of shut down the YouTube with the babies on there and shut it down, let's be private, versus staying online, I think that she would choose to stay online. She loves attention. I think she loves public attention more than private attention from her own family. And we see a lot of cluster B people are like that. Cluster B people really don't derive a lot of validation and, feeling from their intimate housemates, like people within the home. They derive most of their satisfaction of like ego stroking from the general public. Right. And so I think that that's what happened. That's just my theory. I'm sure everything will come to the light, or at least more information will come to the light eventually. But that is my theory as to why her marriage crumbled, because you typically don't see dark-skinned black women, men leaving preferences like her and filing for the divorce. But I would have to say, for him to divorce her, she's probably quite intolerable. Like, I can only imagine that she's quite a handful, like just team too much. And that's probably why she started looking up femininity and how to cater to black men, because her black man left her, which led her to Kevin Samuels and just led her down, unfortunately, a self-destructive path. And then she's trying to destroy black women on her road to hell. Like, baby, listen, if you want to go to hell, go by yourself. Stop trying to recruit black women on your struggle train. No thanks.
So when she got divorced, she was no longer welcomed in the white community. And that's why she says her life fell apart. What's interesting is that her husband divorced her. And stats show that men don't usually file for divorce. The woman does. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it about this woman that after 15 years of marriage, her ex-husband decided to file for divorce? She couldn't keep her man happy, but now she feels she's qualified to tell black women what they need to do.
We have the number of kids born out of wedlock. Our boys are reading at a 4th grade level. Black women are the lowest Polls have been done. Statistics show we are the lowest option in the dating market. Black women. Black women are the lowest. Black men are number 2 behind white men.
No, that's not true. That's not true. And you're not black.
But yet, black men are the problem. And black men, the vast majority of black men, middle class black men, are childless and single.
So after Kevin Samuels gassed her up, she's now echoing his dusty logic and lies, almost word for word.
And to say, enough is enough. And, I'm thankful to Kevin Samuels because he really helped renew my mind. Just some of the feminist mindsets that I've had that really have decimated the black community, have us in our worst state possible. I think 80% of black women are overweight.
Oh my God, this is crazy. You think that the decimation of the black community has to do with your feminist mindset? Like, black men are scared of other black men, and they'll tell you, they're scared. They're scared of other black men. So if black men are afraid of each other, they can't even deal with each other. How do you think a woman is supposed to handle a rogue bandit roaming around the street that doesn't have any value for life and they just kill children, babies, grandmamas? It was a grandmama that was attacked up in was it Baltimore? Dang, I'm trying to remember the city. Might have been in Detroit. This grandmama was going to open up the church in the morning, and two struggle bandits robbed her and beat her up and R'd her. This lady was in her 60s. So you can't even roll up to the church and do God's work without worrying about the devil coming up and robbing and beating you and R'ing you. They don't even respect the church steps. And like thinking about that is enraging me. It is literally enraging me that they rolled up on that elderly woman at the church. And this stupid idiota is talking about the problem in the black community is feminist mindset and not the violence against women and children. What are you smoking? The hell is wrong with you? You're like a stupid idiota for you to think that. Seriously. Hijo de puta, promise you. Like, she is like really mentally deranged. And the sad thing about it is, like, I literally saw a clone of this person yesterday on a 4-hour live, a light-skinned black woman and a multiracial non-black woman. And if you were to just take the transcript from what they're saying and not be able to hear the voice, you would literally think it was a dusty black man. It is so in them. It's like in them. Like in my worst mammying days and my worst black male worshiping this days, I was never this fucking bad. This is like straight up bottom beat on the stroll, slapping women and beating them and getting them in line to get on the stroll for their pimp and to make their money and send it to the pimp.
And I think 60% of those women are obese. And then we have this body positivity movement telling, women, oh, you can look like this. No, I don't want to hear that. Don't talk to the black community about no body positivity, because it's ruined our health, it's ruined our bodies, and it's put black women at the bottom of the dating totem pole. If you come in here with your feminist thing, talk about, oh, you can be at this side, you ain't got to be healthy. You're demonic, and you need to be rebuked and repent.
So you're demonic if you're saying, well, just be whatever size you want to be. But you're not demonic if you talk about, being a pedophile and going after children and going after very young women and being a sexual deviant. That's not a problem. Like, pedophilia is not a problem in the black community. Colorism is not a problem. Violence is not a problem. The problem is feminist mindset in overweight Black women. Overweight Black women is the whole problem of the Black community. And the crazy thing about the whole weight issue, also on a side note, the weight issue is a Black thing. It's not a Black woman thing. And I can speak from that from just looking at my own family. I mean, pretty much all the men are overweight. Like I've already lost, I think, like 2 or 3 cousins uh from like strokes and heart problems. And these are men dying in the because of poor eating choices, weight and bad, drugging and doing all that kind of stuff. So if Black males cared about weight, they would help each other. If you would focus on yourself, you would be able to help yourself. We as Black women over here, we're doing what we have to do. We're constantly talking about eating healthy and leveling up and doing what we have to do. We don't need no assistance with that. We don't need any assistance with that. Like y'all stay over there. Help yourselves. If you care about weight so bad, then talk to your overweight. What is the Phil advise? He's obese. Talk to him. He's obese. Like, why don't you giving him health tips? He's just a big obese person on there spewing out dusty logic that nobody gives a damn about. So go help him. He's overweight. How many other overweight people do y'all have in y'all's ranks that y'all can go and help? We don't need no help over here. We're good. We're good. We'll do it. It's like the Native American population, they have a weight problem too. Hispanic women actually demographics are actually have a higher BMI than Black women because Black women may look larger, but Black women have more muscle mass. So actually, when you're looking at fat content only, I know for me, dealing in the communities that I do, going where I go, whether it be to extracurricular activities, sporting events, picking up from school, dropping off, doing this, doing that, I see a lot of overweight Hispanic women. Lots of them. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know that their men are online complaining about. I don't know. I don't hear Latino men complaining about Latino women being overweight. I be seeing them married and everything else. The man is with them and they be overweight too at the same time. So this is not a Black issue. This is an American issue. This is a Western European issue. America, the United States and UK always fighting for who's the fattest country. Sometimes it's the UK, sometimes it's the United States, and they go back and forth between who's the fattest. This is a gluttony issue. This is an over excessive issue. This is not a Black woman issue. This is what you call a devaluation, a talking point. We try to personalize a global issue to Black women like we are the exclusive group that's struggling with weight. Native American women are struggling with weight, as well as Latina women are struggling with weight. But here she is, this biracial bottom B coming in to spew and thinking that she's some like dropping gems. Like, girl, bye. Like, I'm in the wellness industry. I live this all the time. I know the stats. Like, you can't tell me, you're not gonna be able to tell me like who's doing what and whose BMI is what and who's struggling with weight and what kind of problems. Native Americans have higher rates of diabetes than Black people. Did you know that? That's a huge issue. And also the Pacific Islanders also have issues with weight and diabetes and stuff like that. Actually, many of them have higher rates of obesity and diabetes than the native Black population here. So if you really care, you would maybe go over to the Samoans and the Pacific Islanders and try to assist them and see what they got going on, or go to the reservations and try to assist them and see what they got going on if you really care. Girl.
Don't tell Black women they don't need to lose weight, that they should just body positive. Miss me with the body positivity. It's so narcissistic. It's so narcissistic.
Okay, the reason why she's saying that is because she's been called a narcissist. And a lot of narcissists do this. They don't know how to accept the criticism, and they lack insight, and they lack self-reflection. And so anything that's attributed to negativity, they will just say, oh, that's a narcissistic. Someone saying body positivity and I want to live my life and I want to do what I do, That's them living their life and doing what they want to do. That's not necessarily narcissism. But what she's saying is, I don't agree with your saying, so therefore, you saying that you're body positive, that makes you narcissistic. I know it makes no sense. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of the reason why her husband filed them papers on her.
I don't want to hear that feminist stuff. Same thing with what it's the same thing that feminism did to black women in the 1970s, in the 60s, giving black women welfare, telling them they don't need no man, telling them they can do this, that, and the other. You know what it did? It destroyed the black.
Okay, so she's conflating two totally different issues. And the reason why she's conflating these issues and they're sort of overlapping is because she's just regurgitating topics that she's heard Kevin say and people in the manosphere. So she's kind of talking about feminism, and then she mixes that in with welfare, and she really doesn't know what she's talking about. She has no historical concept of anything that she's talking about. And so that's why it just sounds like babble talk, gibberish that's all blended together, because she doesn't know what she's talking about. And, oh, welfare took black men out the home, perms took black men out the home, weave took black men out the home. An alarm clock took black men out of the home. Painting the room green instead of blue took black men out of the home. A chilly day took black men out the home. Spoiled milk took black men out of the home. You name it. Like, what's the excuse of the day? I mean, welfare took black men out of the home. Like, we've all heard this 1,000 times. And you're 40. I mean, she's 40. So I'm going to kind of be a little bit harder on you, sis. Like, you're older. Like, you should be going and moving into maturity. You should be moving into wisdom. You should be moving into understanding. You shouldn't be like a naive little kid running around with your ears wet, and then some manosphere person, vomits something on you and you just believe it and take it to be true. Oh, well, they said that welfare took them out of the home, so that must be what's true. So if welfare, so a $200 check can take you out the home, then that means you wasn't making $200. If that were the case. So is the problem the welfare, or is the problem you're not making enough money? And if the problem is you're not making enough money, do you think trying to shame women for getting provisions for the children? When I was listening to this earlier today, or at some point in time, it came up to my mind. There's this one podcast that I watch. It's like a true crime podcast, and they talk about there's a particular term in criminology called family annihilators. And family annihilators are not the people who do like matricide or patricide or infanticide or filiacide. Family annihilators are the type of people that take the whole family out. They'll take the whole family out, and usually after they take the whole family out, they'll take themselves out. And I was like, there's a lot of family annihilator energy around a lot of black men. Shaming black women for getting food stamps and housing. The alternative to that is black women and children starving on the street without a place to live. And so what you're saying is that you would actually prefer that. You think that they should be living in a ditch, starving to death, and like that would bring you satisfaction. It doesn't bring you satisfaction to see black women and children in a home with food on the table, food in the refrigerator, and trying to get by and having some sense of home. That annoys them to their core. Like, that disgusts them, that black women would have the audacity to provide housing for the children. Who do you think you are? Get your ass out on the street and be cold and deal with the elements. If I don't take care of you, nobody should. If I abandon you, everybody should abandon you, including the government, including White Zaddy, including everybody. You should be out on the street, in the elements, starving with the kids. Ha ha ha. And like when they're like shaming these provisions, like to me, that's what it sounds like. That's how I'm hearing it. I'm hearing that I want you in squalor. And the fact that you have a place to live, it irritates their demonic soul. That black women would actually live in a house, be able to lock the door, get into bed, and go to sleep.
community. While those women were married, while those women in Cosmo that were preaching this stuff about sleeping around and living their best life, guess what? Those women were married. But they telling black women, get your welfare check and go get your education, live your best life. You know what that did? It's ruined us.
Black women going to get an education, getting welfare, and living their best life ruined the Black community. I cannot make this shit up. If I wouldn't have showed this to y'all and I would have just relayed it like hearsay, you wouldn't have even believed me. That's how crazy this shit sounds. This sounds so crazy. If I would have just told you what I heard, you wouldn't have believed me. That's why I had to pull the video up so that you can hear for yourself. This is crazy. Black women getting an education, getting welfare, and living their best life destroyed the Black community, according to this biracial lady.
So miss me with the feminist talking points. If you feel that way, sis, go on and you answer to God for what you're doing.
We're trying to go. We've already left. But your people that you're in a covenant with, and the biracials and the multiracials, you are the ones who are having a conniption fit because we're gone. We're leaving. You've asked us to leave. We're leaving. But now you guys are having tantrums because if you have to go compete with white women on your own merits, and you don't have the convenience of saying, oh, look at me, I'm better than brown skin and dark skin unambiguous Black women. Look at me, and use us to try to prop yourself up. Now you have to go and you have to deal with it, and you got to go compete like everybody else, and you have to be out there in the world on your own. And you don't have Black women gassing you up and telling you you're pretty and you're beautiful and all this type of shit, and giving you passes to come roll up over onto our side whenever you get good and ready. You and your counterparts, your this O'Shea guy and all that, y'all are the ones who are having the problem. And that's why she stopped herself when she was like, well, just go. Because you don't want us to go. That's the problem. Y'all don't want us to go. We've already left. And you are throwing tantrums and you're doing all kinds of attention seeking behavior to try to lure us back in to get involved with you. You want us to validate them so that they look like something. Because without our validation, they're nothing. We've been propping them up for decades, centuries. And now we're telling the truth. Like, no, this nigga ain't shit. No, I'm not going to lie anymore and tell you you're this and you're a king and all. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. There's many Black women who are saying, I'm not going to participate with lying and making up stories and fantasy thinking and all of this and that. I'm just going to tell the truth. And so because we have withdrawn our certificate of validation and our man stroking and propping them up as this, like, protecting them and filling in the blanks for their shortcomings and making excuses for their mistakes and cleaning up their messes and bailing them out of jail and putting money on their books and all of this and that, all of this struggle love behavior, there are thousands of Black women withdrawing their self quietly, some of them loudly, some of them medium volume, but various degrees withdrawing their support. And you are the ones who can't take it because they get something out of the deal, and biracial women like her get something out of the deal. And that's why they have a vested interest in keeping Black women sucked up into Black male worship. That's why. And I believe that's why she stopped herself short of saying it. Go, we'll just leave. Let me play it again so you can hear.
What you talking about? But you ain't gonna hurt my people not one more day.
This bitch is
When you're faking it, all you do is
hold on. I'm sorry, I usually don't use the B word. She's just too much. Like, oh girl, stop. She's just too much. Let me see if I could play that.
You know what it did? It destroyed the Black community. While those women were married, while those women in Cosmo that were preaching this stuff about sleeping around and living their best life, guess what? Those women were married. But they telling Black women, get your welfare check and go get your education, live your best life. You know what that did? It's ruined us. So miss me with the feminist talking points. If you feel that way, sis, go on and You answer to God for what you do.
You see what she said? She was about to say, if you feel that way, just go on about your way. But she stopped herself of saying that because she knows that her cat daddy, her gay bae, Samuels, would discourage her telling Black women to go their own way. And she gets something out of Black women being involved with Black male worship and being a part of the harem. So she stopped herself from saying it. She did not complete her thought. And then she just said, oh, give it to God. Like, girl, you're a mess.
And what you talking about? But you ain't gonna hurt my people not one more day.
When you're faking it, all you do is repeat what you've heard other people say and don't know how to put it into context. She is all over the place, and what is she talking about? And who is they? And for that matter, who is her people? This is a whole white woman talking about we and our community and our boys. Does anybody actually believe that this is how she felt before she was divorced and tossed out of the white community? And just because she has a self-hating Black man for a daddy doesn't mean that she's Black. If anything, she's biracial at best.
But part of that, it's not just, okay, now I'm better, so let me go on and live my life. No, sir. Okay? That's not what we're going to do over here. I finally said, you know what? I'm going to step in my purpose. I'm going to call those things out that need to be called out, and I'm going to help the Black community in particular. I don't want to hear no mess about no body positivity, not one more day. I don't want to hear no mess about I can do bad by myself. I don't want to hear it.
So she's outlining her job description. You know, she's been hired as this like bottom B for the manosphere, and she's outlining what she's going to do, which is specifically her mission is to go after women who are, you know, withdrawn, women who are exploring their options, and she wants to try to shame you back into Black male worship and to recruit you know, younger women and other women into Black male worship to get on the stroll. Because if you just listen to what she's saying that, oh no, you better not go out and do this, you better not go out and do that, oh no, you better come back, that's my mission. Listen again.
But part of that, it's not just, okay, now I'm better, so let me go on and live my life. No.
Now I'm better, let me go on and live my life. She's talking about us. We are the women who have gotten better, and we are the women who are living our lives. And she's saying, no, you will not. I'm coming for you. You will get back on the struggle train, choo choo, straight to hell with me. Or maybe even not with her. Maybe she will get a Brad and live happily ever after and get online and tell Black women to deal with dust and make money off of it. She knows this is lucrative. I'm going to show you something in a little bit, but I'm telling you that I know that part of this is money related because she knows this is lucrative. She cannot go to the white community the divorce papers from her divorce, the ink is not yet dry from her husband filing divorce on her. The ink is not yet dry. And she wants to tell Black, and she just said, I just discovered this information 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. So you discovered femininity, according to Kevin Samuels, like 2 weeks ago, but now you're a guru. I've talked about this in other videos as well, in other subject matter of people dabbling in information, and now they're a guru in the matter of a couple of weeks. You literally just rolled up on this man's YouTube. You're a preference, so you dropped into his DM. You probably cash apped this man. You probably paid his $1,000 consultation fee to chat it up with him. And now you're spewing his dusty logic all over YouTube as a biracial, non-Black woman. And you feel qualified to tell Black women what they need to do. And specifically, you're going after women like me who said, yes, I'm good, I'm better, and I'm going my own way. We're the women who are rocking your soul. There are thousands of Black male worshipers. Why can't you create services and products for them? They're begging to be picked every day. They have signs saying, I forgive you, black men. I love you. They have odes. They have poetry online devoted to black men. They have Instagrams devoted to black men. They have organizations to advocate for black men. They're always begging for attention and affection for black women, for black men. But yet you overlook this whole big group of black women, and you go after black women who say, "Yeah, I'm better and I'm good. I'm doing my own thing." We are our little minority is rocking your soul. You can't sleep good at night knowing that some black woman somewhere is laid up living her best life, doing her, not worried about you, not worrying about your struggle, Dusty Tyrone, and that bothers y'all. But I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, yes, I wish that we can go in peace. But if you think about a parasite, do you think when you try to get a parasite off of you, do you think that parasite is going to go in peace? Like, oh, my host doesn't want to host me anymore. Let me just jump off of them and go find something else. Or maybe I'll find another food source. No, the parasite is going to fight you tooth and nail if you ever try to detach them from you. A parasite will fight tooth and nail. It will not be easy to get them off of you. And as you get them off of you, they will continue to try to seek a host, the most nutrient rich host they can find. So do you think that these guys are finding nutrient value in some of these like pick-me's and da 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 da? No, they don't find them to be very appealing. They'll pay attention to them all day, all night. They'll just pay attention, sign in, send them super chats, do everything. But they don't feel fulfilled from that. They have to go after that don't want them.
No, sir. Okay, that's not what we're gonna do over here. I finally said, you know what? I'm gonna step in my purpose. I'm gonna call those things out that need to be called out, and I'm gonna help the black community in particular. I don't want to hear no mess about no body positivity, not one more day. I don't want to hear no mess about I can do bad by myself. I don't want to.
But technically, we could do bad by ourselves, though. What's wrong with doing bad by yourself? Like if I'm so undesirable, oh, nobody wants me, blah blah blah, and I want to do bad alone, why can't I? Why do you have a problem with someone choosing to do bad by themselves? So what she's saying is like you need to do bad with black men by your side. Like you need to lay up in your apartment with an eviction notice on the door with your lazy Tyrone who won't get a job, and you need to like be evicted with him. Like it's your duty to be evicted with him. If he goes to jail, you need to wait around and wait for him to get out. You need to send him money on the commissary. You need to go visit him. You need to go through security. You need to drive 3 hours of money that you don't have, gas that you don't have. You need to call him collect. You need to accept his phone calls when he call you. You need to bail him out of jail. You need to do these things because who are you to think that you should do bad by yourself? No, you need to do bad with them. And she's saying it's my job to whip you black women back into shape, get you back on the stroll to live this bad life with these bandits. It's she's stepping into her purpose. She feels it's her life mission to do it. This biracial woman.
Hear it. Because we are in crisis, y'all. I was in crisis, and God finally said, you know what? I brought you out. Like Moses, I brought you out, but you're not out just to go live for yourself. You have a calling. My people need to come across the Red Sea, and Pharaoh's army is behind me.
So now she is Moses. I just did a breakdown of a bandit the other day, and it's called the struggle love that good black men offer. And you will hear similar rhetoric when it comes to them trying to use religion. Now she's Moses, and we need to be led through the Red Sea. I'm like, girl, where are we leaving from and where are we going to? Okay, sis, ma'am, you're not my sister. You're just a ma'am. Ma'am, what have black men set up for anybody to go to? What have they set up? If we're leaving persecution and we about to go through the Red Sea and the Pharaoh army behind us, what is in front of us? What have Black men created for Black women and children? Where are you leading them to? Exactly. I think you're leading them to hell, but you can let me know.
Just like Moses, I was a slave. I was a slave to this world. I was a slave to social media. I was a slave to money.
So let me tell you, let me break this down, and I'm going to show you something else. This is why she got divorced. She said, I was a slave to social media. I was a slave to money. I believe, as I stated at the beginning of this video, I think that the reason that she got divorced was because her husband asked her to back off of social media and to stop posting so much family personal business online. And I think that her quote being a slave to social media and her quote being a slave to money is what she chose social media and money off over her family. Because I know like her channel was very lucrative. Not only does she have like millions of views, she also gets toy endorsements. She gets endorsements from companies like Disney, and Warner Brothers, and a lot of Mattel and Toyco and all these Tyco and all these toy companies, because she has a child-centered channel. But I think that after it got to a certain point, I really do think her husband was like, hey, we have enough. Like, let's back off. Let the girls are getting older, like they need to get involved with school. They need friends. They need to not be internet celebrities. Like, let's let them have a regular life. And I think that she chose to continue to post online. And I think that that's really the heart of it. And she's kind of telling on herself when she says, I was a slave to social media and I was a slave to money. This is her working out her own stuff. But it's like, sis, the thing, ma'am, the thing to do is not to come online and start like being a bottom B for the manosphere. Like, you could go and try to help yourself. Like, yeah, you destroyed your marriage, but your preference, you could go out and get somebody else. Just go out and get somebody else. You don't need to go through Kevin Samuel's doormat university to get a man. You don't need to do that. Cause I I got a lot of them, and I don't do none of that stuff they be talking about. Okay, I don't do none of that stuff, and I'm living my best life. Okay,
A slave to myself. I was a slave to accept me as I am. But no, sis. Pharaoh's army is still behind you. And see,
AKA winter is coming. Girl, bye. Shut up. Where's winter? Like, I'm having a great time in winter. Girl, I'm about to go to a ski resort and everything else. And now you're talking about Pharaoh's army? What? Why does it always have to be an apocalyptic event to try to make Black women do what y'all want? Winter is coming. Pharaoh's army is coming. You better worship.
a lot of us are complacent being slaves.
She's trying to be deep, but she's running out of things to say. She's already spewed out everything she knows, so she's trying to think. Girl, you don't know, like, manosphere only likes slaves. That's all they want. That's all they like.
A lot of us are complacent being slaves. We want to be accepted. We want to be, society to like us, but no more. It's demonic.
So she says that wanting society to like you is demonic. Wanting to be accepted is demonic. And the interesting thing about the core of human nature, humans crave acceptance. You have to find a tribe somewhere. That's a human need. And she's saying that you're demonic if you crave acceptance and you want to be liked. And it kind of makes sense, because what the Black manosphere offers is just be here, but I don't like you and I don't accept you. So it kind of makes sense that she's saying that you're demonic if you crave acceptance and likability, because you need to come back over here to Struggleville where we don't like you and we don't accept you. Just be here. They kind of just want like Black women to be like furniture in the room. Don't say nothing. Don't ask for nothing. Serve a purpose. But don't ask for nothing. Don't say nothing. We really don't like you. Just be here. But don't go nowhere. Just be over here. Just be over here. And like when I get mad at the world, I'll punch you. And I'll feel better about myself. Just be here and be available to accept my blows whenever I feel like I need to take out my anger because I'm a subjugated buck. Just be here to get punched. Just be around. I mean, that's essentially what she's saying. You're demonic if you want to be accepted and liked. Like, this is just gets crazier. Like, I listened to this, but now that I'm listening to it with you again, like, I'm hearing more.
A lot of us are complacent being slaves. So we want to be accepted. We want to be, society to like us. But no more. It's demonic. It's just not, and I'm not trying to be no preacher. I'm not no preacher. I'm not a minister. I'm just whatever is in my heart is just flowing out. It is what it is.
Your heart is evil. If that's what's flowing from your heart is evil, ma'am. Because you're telling people human nature is to be accepted. Like, humans need acceptance. Humans need validation. Humans desire to be liked. That's a natural expression of humanity. And you're saying that that's demonic. You're not a minister. You're a bottom B for the manosphere. Like, we know that you're not a minister, and we know you're not preaching because this is trash. Your sermon is trash.
It is. So yeah, I shout out to a lot of the guys that support me in this space. Shisha said, J.R. Wisdom, O'Shea Jackson, Kevin Samuels. I appreciate these men, and these men have really ministered to my heart. The words that they speak, the things they teach, they have a different purpose than what I'm doing. But I can tell you behind the scenes, these men are great men of value and are very upstanding, supportive men, and I appreciate it because it helped me come out of what I was in by myself. And I am now, like Moses, I am here to lead. I am going to go where God wants me to do. I'm going to be talking about helping women to get fit mentally, physically.
Ma'am, you're not fit mentally. What are you talking about? You cannot help people do what you have not achieved. You have a poor judgment of character if you ever would endorse an O'Shea Jackson. You have a poor judge of character if you endorse Kevin Samuels and J.R. Wisdom. I've only seen the thumbnails, but that was enough. I can get a good idea of what you're serving by just looking at the title and the thumbnails. And these are your master teachers. And for those who are just tuning in, she said that what sold her and what made her a believer in Kevin Samuels was her watching the Average at Best video to see this beautiful brown woman be respectful online. That sold her. Oh, she was in. Oh yeah. If that's what this is about, oh, I'm in. Sign me up. So you're not our skin folk and you're not our kinfolk either. Neither one. And you think, anyway, listen on.
And spiritually. And Black women in particular.
Is it my imagination, or did she actually compare herself to Moses?
No, T-Salt, she did compare herself to Moses. Let me show you something. Let me see if this is showing up. Okay, I need to fix my share screen because I want to show you the page. I'm going to show you the page, and I'm going to show you what I think is a Quan with the situation. Show me. Is that this one? Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Okay, so this is the page. This is the page that she has. This is the family page. This is the let me see if I can show you her ex-husband, because he looks a lot like O'Shea Duke Jackson, actually. They look similar. But T-Saw, she, I have children. I have a child rather. So I already knew her. So this is her with her baby. Um, it's probably gonna show a freaking there it is. So this is her with her daughter. So you see that the daughter is an unambiguous black presenting girl. And normally I don't show children on the page, but honestly, like these children are everywhere. I mean, they're all over Instagram, they're all over TikTok. They have a huge platform. So these are not like private life people. Um, but yeah, this is their home. I don't know if she's moved out of this house or what, but I think this property is either on Disney or like really close. So you can kind of see a little bit of what she was doing. Okay, let me see if I can show you. Okay, this is let me let this go off. Sorry. Let me see one. Oh my God, they must have heard us talking. Okay, this is the dad. This is the dad. Do tell me he don't favor O'Shea Du Jackson a little bit. Tell me he don't favor O'Shea Duke Jackson just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yes, correct. Correct. This is the husband right here. Husband. This is the ex-husband who left his preference. His feminine, submissive um preference. Who was a slave to money and social media. Yep. Yeah, you're right, Jay Prince. I can see it. So I can kind of see why she kind of gravitated towards him because he probably looked familiar to her, because she's used to dealing with that situation or whatever. Oh my Lord. Y'all, when I tell you I'm tired, like I am tired, like yesterday, um, oh my God. It's just, I'm proud of us for the most part because there's a lot of, they were begging black women who date out to call in and nobody will call in. Nobody will call in. The only person that called in was this crazy lady. Um, the lady is crazy. I don't know. We have to talk about that later because I feel like we need a distinction between like what the crazy people are doing and like what we're doing because it is really not the same thing. But when they keep begging, they be begging us to call in and we won't do it. The only people that call in be the crazy people and then they pretend to be us. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like convoluted. But yeah, I just wanted to show you ladies what the ex-husband looks like. Um, and then now if we look at all the videos, um, the last video was 3 months ago, which is really bizarre because she used to post all the time, like a lot. And I don't know if it's because of the divorce or if it's because he has asked her not to do that. And if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure he's probably advocating the courts that she not have the babies on YouTube anymore. If I had to guess, I'm sure he doesn't want the children so um public the way they've been. I wouldn't be surprised if he got custody of these children. I wouldn't be surprised. And so I think that now that this channel isn't going to work for her because she doesn't have her girls, she's going to have to share custody. It may be this. If he has 50-50 custody of these girls, he might have to sign a waiver for her to put them on YouTube because they're half his children, right? And they're no longer married. So in order for her to put the children on YouTube, he would have to consent to that. So if he doesn't consent to that, her channel's gone. And I don't think she's entertaining enough without the girls. So she really needs them to keep the gravy train flowing. So I think that her idea is, well, wow, it's very lucrative to shit on black women. Why don't I just jump on that boat and shit on black women and I can build a platform like that? Because there's so many people building a platform to shit on black women. So I think that that's what, I think that's what's going on. Because if we look at the Instagram, let me see. This last Instagram was back in June. So they're not even posting on the Instagram anymore, really like that. So I think that's my theory. Time will tell because time reveals all. Time reveals all, and I'm sure that, things that are done is going to come to the light. She think that she's just going to roll up over here and start scolding black women, and it's like, ma'am, we know you're not black. So again, shout out to T Salt. The video that we reviewed today comes from T Salt's page. So I will be linking her video in the description box, and would encourage you to go over there and check out her channel. But yeah, this is the landscape that we are dealing with. More and more biracials are being recruited to attempt to taunt and torment black women. Especially they're focused on those of us who don't want to be bothered. We are, their main, we're their main focus, unfortunately. We are their main focus. So let me shout folks out, as I have been running my mouth. I haven't really been looking at the comments. Hi, divested Power Ranger. Thank you for joining. Trying to look at all the. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, Philistine. Yep, she's an ultimate pick-me. I'm glad the audio was good. Hey, Sissy Asia. Hey, girl. Hey. His mission is to keep black women in a position of servitude. Yes, absolutely. And yes, girl, the struggle train. Hey, Adrian Brown. Hey, Josie. Hey, Love Wisdom. Hey, Mocha Mommy. Hi, All Things Nada Jean. Oh, you're new here? Oh, thank you. Welcome to the community. Mammy, girl, she's beyond Mammy. I would call her a bottom B. I think she's a bottom B. That's what I think she is. Because yeah, she's on a different energy. It's not even like, let me coddle black men. She's not really coddling black men. She's whipping the she's cracking the whip on black women. She's trying to get black women to get back on the stroll to support, their kangs. So I would call her more of a bottom B than a mammy. She was doing this for clicks and views. Those women in Cosmos still got married. Gloria Steinem herself got married and got a bag. Yep. She's a biracial mammy, and she really hates black women. Hey, Chris Sandell. Hey, Grass Soy. Or Greasy. So you have to give me the phonetics of how to say your name so I can get it right the next time. She shouldn't have an issue. She's a preference. That's a trick bag, and they want to drag us back to compete with them. No, ma'am. We out. Yeah, you would think. I mean, and I would think too, like, in my perfect world, ride off into the sunset. Like, if I'm so undesirable, then get what you want. Because that's how I live my life. Like, I go after what I want. But with them, it's not all real. It's just not real. It's just cosplay. And you say like the women that you don't want, you do want. And the women who want you don't want them back. And you want a harem, and you want everybody out on the stroll supporting you and catering to you, and you want to live in the comfort. They want black women on the stroll, creating and supporting a community and a life for them. And of course, they want to nest in somebody else's community, and they don't want to put in any work to create anything for themselves. They don't value that. They don't value ingenuity in creating something for themselves. They don't. So yeah, hi 939449. That's an interesting username. Hi Lee or Leah or Leia. Hey, more MK. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Caitlin. I think I got to everybody. Hi, the woman who doesn't exist. Everybody is obsessed with bashing Black women. Well, yeah, it's proven to be quite lucrative. It's proven to be quite lucrative for them to bash Black women. And I think I'm going to do another live later about like how Asia Doll is the last one for me. Like, I'm not, and I didn't say anything about Asian Doll, but like that situation, I'm not going to provide any more moral support for women like that. If you go onto a platform that is established that bashes Black women and you want to be the exceptional favorite Black woman and you're willing to throw other Black women under the bus to be the special one, and then they give you the same Black man, I'm not there for you. You know, don't expect me to help you. Don't expect me, just don't expect it. Whatever smoke they give you, it's for you. I'm out. Like I'm just not going to do it anymore. I mean, it's not even that I did it this time, but I feel a little bit of sympathy for her, a little bit. But my sympathy is literally like it's run out. It's run out. You know, I think maybe when the podcast first came out, I would have a little bit more compassion. But now that it's established as a anti-woman, hostile towards Black women space, and you think that you're going to go over there and be special, well, girl, you got the same Black man. You got the same Black males that, you know, they're trash. And so you got the trash treatment. And so now what? You know, like, do you expect for Black women to come out and stand in solidarity with you when you don't listen to us? We keep telling you stop going over there and y'all do it anyway. Y'all do it anyway. Like, you don't care what we say. We're sitting there telling you, don't go over there. Stop it. And you think you're special, and then you get the same Black male. You get that same Black male treatment. Just like they threw that average at best girl under the bus. Who did? Um, oh, yet the same women scream sisterhood until they. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah, yeah. You're right. Like these biracial women, a lot of times they only say sisterhood. It's all colors when they take our spots. So if it's a casting call for a Black woman, or if it's a you know, if it's like a casting call, an opportunity, a scholarship opportunity for Black women, or um you know, a representation, a presentation opportunity for a Black woman, or whatever the case may be, then they're like, oh, all colors matter, you know, sisterhood, we're all the same. One drop rule, the one drop rule, and all of this and that. But then when it comes to, oh, you Black women have a problem, or, you know, they will other themselves when it's convenient for them. You know, when it's convenient for them, they will other themselves. And let me just say this. You know, we have some biracial allies out here. So I know that they're around. And we don't have any smoke or any problems for our biracial allies, because we already know we have Black women allies, biracial allies who are telling the truth of the dusty pathology of their self-hating Black fathers, and they're being honest about it. They're not hiding their father's trash bags. So I do think that if a biracial a woman wants to be honest about her self-hating trash bag father's banditry, you know, eh, that's grounds for allyship, okay? Because you're telling the truth and we're telling the truth. We just have different perspectives. And as long as you're not trying to take the place of a Black woman, we're cool with you. We're cool with you. You're not sitting up here trying to get on a high horse and tell Black women this and tell Black women that. So we don't have a problem with biracial women like that. We don't. It's women like her that we have the problem with. She's the type of biracial that we're not skinfolk nor kinfolk. Other than that, yes, we do have biracial allies. We have light skinned allies as well, who realize, yeah, in the Black community, I kind of did have a little bit of privilege, but you know, ultimately, I got the same Black male. So, you know, I just want to make sure that I set the record straight for that. Leah says, I have no sympathy. I'll be at peace. Divested from them too. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, girl. This woman is an extreme panderer. I cringed when she did that video about facial structure video in response to case. I agree with him. The woman who doesn't exist. If you're on my Instagram, can you send me a link to that video? Or can you I don't think you're on the Discord, or can you email it to me? afrocentricwoman@gmail.com. Because I don't think I've seen that video, so I would like to. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you can hit me on IG or email, either one. So that's what I had to share with you ladies today. So I guess we may possibly see more from this bottom B. I don't know. Time will tell. Time always reveals. So we'll be vigilant and see if she rears her dusty head and her dusty logic, her regurgitated dusty talking points, and spewing them all over YouTube. We'll see. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you. Someone congratulated me for over 800 subscribers. Thank you so much for that. It's been a slow and steady crawl to 1,000, but I really don't fit in any one box, so it's kind of hard to know if you want to subscribe, because I kind of dab on a lot of different topics. So I understand, because I'm so broad, it is a little bit harder, to make that commitment to hit the subscribe button. But yeah, I do appreciate you all. Thank you for the congratulations. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you have been with me for a while, thank you for your continued support and participation on the channel. And many of you are diligently working in your private lives to first and foremost nurture yourself, which is most important, and whatever excess you have to nurture, um, you know, Black women around you, your own family, your own sphere of influence. So kudos to all of you for doing that. Kudos to all of you for doing that. And so, yes, with that, I will say, if you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe. And yes, as Sissy Asia says, please do like the video. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Peace and love.